My name is Jessie, and welcome to yoga. This is going to be about a 30-minute hip opening class for all levels. So if you've never practiced before or just haven't practiced that much, this is definitely a class for you. It's going to be all gentle hip openers. We're going to work the pelvic floor and a little abdominals. I know you can't really ask questions because, it's a video, but feel free to message me, ask questions after, okay? Now we'll get started in the seated position in Baddha Konasana, also known as butterfly. So we'll slide the soles of the feet together, press the heels in. We sit up tall, level through the sit bone, so move any extra love from underneath if needed. Shoulders are back, and the head is up high with a slight tuck of the chin. We're going to flutter the eyes closed and start to turn the attention inward. We start to let go of everything outside of this practice for the next 30 or so minutes. If you would like to set your own intention for your practice, now would be the time. And if that's not really your thing, it doesn't have to be. Just relax into your space and take a few moments here for yourself. And before we start to move, we'll work on a little pranayama, a little breath work. So we're going to start with a nice deep breath in through the nose, gently filling the belly, the diaphragm, and the lungs. We hold for a moment, and then we gently exhale out through the mouth, emptying the lungs, diaphragm, and belly. We inhale. We exhale. We inhale once more without movement. We exhale once more without movement. And now as we inhale, we sweep the arms all the way up overhead, pressing shoulder blades down like we are tucking them into back pockets. We exhale and we hinge at the hips, pushing the tailbone to the back, leading with the heart, and lowering down into our space. We start to wake up those hips, stretching into the hip flexors, grounding through the lower body. Option to continue to hold in stillness if that works for you, or option to flutter the knees and bring a little butterfly flutter, a little somatic movement into the hips. Now we're going to continue to breathe. Remember that while we may hold an asana, a pose or a stretch, the same cannot be said for the breath. We continue breathing, sending the air deep into the body, anywhere we feel it's needed. And if you did start to flutter the knees, we're going to gently come back to stillness. Now we're going to start to flow a little bit here. We're going to inhale and sweep the arms up, opening up to a back bend, reaching behind us. And exhale, we're going to round the spine and fold forward, lowering back down. Inhale, sweep back up, back bend. Exhale, round the spine and fold. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, round and fold. And last one, inhale, back up. And exhale, back down. And we stay back in that fold. Now, a moment ago, you had the option to flutter the knees. This time, you have the option to sway the upper body, releasing into the low back and starting to shake out any stale or stagnant energy hanging out around the hips, releasing any tension, any trauma that you may be holding on to. Perfect, just a little bit more if you chose movement. And then we meet everyone back in the center, back in stillness once again. Now we're going to inhale and sweep the arms back up. Excuse me, I'm trying to lose my voice. And exhale, we're going to float that left hand down to the mat, stretching into that right side body. Press into the left palm. Keep both sit bones flat. Gazing towards the side or up to that right elbow. We're going to inhale back up. Exhale, we're just going to switch sides. Floating right hand down, stretching through the left. Now we're going to start to link breath and movement and flow here. So we're going to inhale and sweep back up into the left. And then exhale back up and to right. Now we're going to move here with our own breath at our own pace. So if you would like to slow this movement down, and maybe spend a little extra time showing love to those lats and those obliques, you are more than welcome to do so. And if you would like to speed it up a bit, that is an option as well. Just be mindful of the body and don't sacrifice your form for speed. Now we've got one more to each side. Make sure to do the same amount of left and right. Then we meet in the middle. Nice big inhale. This time as we exhale, we're going to float the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, then hinge at the hips and fold forward. Option to allow those bound hands to just hang out at the low back, or option to lift them up, round chin to chest, get deeper into the hips and open into the heart as well. Regardless, crown of the head reaches forward to make the spine long, bringing a slight tuck to the chin, making sure we don't strain the neck. And then we gently start to roll up. And we're just going to go ahead and swing those legs around and come into the tabletop position. Wrists under elbows, under shoulders. Knees under hips. Gaze is neutral between the hands, and we press the tops of the feet into the mat. We activate the lower body. Now we're going to inhale, drop the belly, lift the tailbone, lift the chest, and look up. Exhale, round the spine, drop the shoulders, drop the tailbone, and look down. And we'll move here between cat-cow at our own pace. Moving with the breath. We want to inhale up, and we want to exhale down. Allowing that breath to guide us between our movements. One more of each. Make sure we do the same amount of both cat and cow. Then we meet back in our neutral tabletop. We're going to inhale and extend the right leg to the back of the room. Square the hips towards the floor. Point the toes to activate the leg. And exhale, we bring the knee to the chest and the foot to the mat in between the hands. Now, if you need to drop the foot a little farther back and then walk it up forward to the hands, that is okay. Bring the weight to the heel. Get light into those fingertips, and we're going to inhale, sweeping all the way up. Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Right knee aligned with the ankle while following toes. We stretch into that left hip. Exhale, we extend that right leg, hinge at the hips, and fold forward. We melt into our Ardha Hanumanasana, our half monkey. We shift the hips back to the center if they moved sideways. And we reach with the crown of the head, making that spine long. Now we're going to add a little flow here for a bit. So we're going to inhale and sweep back up to that Anjaneyasana. Press into that hip. Exhale, flow back. Half monkey. Inhale and sweep up. Exhale, flow back. Two more. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, half monkey. One more full round. Inhale up, low lunge. And exhale back. Half monkey. We lead with that heart, really getting long in the spine. We stretch into that right hamstring and abductor, getting up into the hip. And then we inhale and we sweep back up. Anjaneyasana. And then as we exhale, we kickstand the left leg out to the right and open the arms, opening up to a grounded miniature warrior two. Now the shoulders align over the hips. Gaze is over that right hand. We're going to inhale, bringing right elbow and knee together and reaching with that left. We stretch into that right hip, opening up into our miniature extended side angle. And then exhale, just square it all back off. Frame the foot, come back to that miniature runner's lunge. Now we're going to heel toe that right foot out to the right edge of the mat and come into our lizard. Option to stay right here up on the hands, or option to slide that left foot, that left leg out a little more and walk down, lowering to the forearms to get deeper into that hip. Now remember that while we do encourage discomfort, let's be real, lizard is not the most comfortable asana. So while we do encourage discomfort, we do not encourage pain. So if something hurts, and I mean truly hurts, take a moment to come out of it and reset. Maybe try again, being a little more gentle with yourself, or maybe not. It's up to you. Listen to your body. Show yourself grace. Now, if you came down to the forearms, we're going to gently walk back up to the hands. And we're going to heel toe that right foot all the way back to center, surpassing the center and walking it all the way to the left. We're going to settle down, keeping hips squared and lowering into our pigeon. We lift with the heart, staying centered in the hips. We're not rocking or rolling onto that right side. We inhale, exhale, we hinge at the hips and we fold forward, walking the hands out and lowering down into your full version of sleeping pigeon. We stretch into that right hip, continuing to release tension, trauma, and cortisol, the stress hormone from within that lower body. Now, since this is a video, if you would like to hold your asanas a little longer, feel free to pause the video and hold, but keep in mind that what we do to one side, we want to do to the other. So if you do pause on one side and hold a little longer, make sure we show the same love to that other side. Now we're going to bring the hands under the shoulders and lift the heart, lifting back up to our tall pigeon. And we're going to slide that right knee back and come back to our tabletop. Wrists under elbows, under shoulders, and knees under hips. And now, of course, we have that flow on the other side. We have to balance it out. But before we do, we're going to get into a few tail wags. So go ahead and swivel those hips to the right and turn the head to look over the right shoulder. And then using that breath, we're going to switch sides. Swivel the hips to the left and look left. And we move here between left and right tail wags, moving at our own pace. Once again, linking breath to movement. just like we did with those cat-cows. One more to each side. Make sure we do the same amount of left and right. We come back to our neutral tabletop and we inhale the left leg to the back of the room. Pressing that leg out, we square those hips. And exhale, we bring the knee forward to the chest and the foot to the mat. Again, if you can't get the foot that far, you can always drop it back and walk it up. We square the hips and we inhale, sweeping all the way up, lifting to our Anjaneyasana, to our low lunge on the other side. Lifting through the heart, pressing that right foot down, we exhale, extend the left leg, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Ardha Hanumanasana, half monkey, other side. Make sure to shift the hips back to the middle if they move. Make sure to reach long with that heart. And of course, we're going to flow here a little bit, so we're going to bend the knee. Inhale, sweep up, low lunge. Exhale, flow back. Half monkey. Inhale it up. Press into that hip. Exhale, flow back. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, half monkey, and two more. Inhale, sweep up that low lunge, and exhale, flow back, half monkey. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, half monkey. And then we inhale, sweep all the way back up, low lunge. And exhale, bring that right foot to the left and open up. Miniature warrior two. Rounded variation. Other side. Shoulders align with the hips. We gaze over that left hand. And then we inhale, left elbow to the left knee, reaching with that right, opening up into our miniature grounded version of our extended side angle. And then exhale, square everything back off, bring those hands down, we frame the foot. Then we're going to walk that foot out to that left edge, heel toeing out towards the side. And again, option to stay right here, or option to extend the leg a little more and walk down to the forearms. Full lizard variation. Now, of course, it is up to you which variation you choose. Remember that we are showing honor and grace to our bodies. We are not forcing anything. We are simply allowing gravity and body weight to help us out, to do a lot of the work here for us, to help us open those hips, to balance that root, and of course, to keep breathing. Now, if you did lower to those forearms, we're going to gently press back to the hands, square the shoulders, and then we're all going to bring that foot back into the center, passing center, bringing it over to the right, and lowering the knee, squaring those hips. We come into our pigeon on the other side. Now remember not to rock or roll over onto the side, and we're going to inhale, exhale, walk forward and hinge at those hips. Sleeping pigeon, but of course on the other side. We bring balance to that hip, into the lower body, into that root, which is found at the tailbone at the base of the body. One of our important energy points. A little fun fact, the color associated with that energy point, with that root chakra, is red. We're going to bring the hands under the shoulders and lift the heart. We're going to lift back up. And we're just going to press into the palms, slide that knee back, and come back into our tabletop. Shoulders back, belly is to the spine. We're going to point the toes, pick up the feet, and tap the feet on the mat. Shake up. Anything hanging out around the feet, release some tension from those toes. We tend to neglect the feet. So we're going to take a moment here and show them some love. And then we're going to gently come back to stillness, back to center. We're going to slide the big toes together, bring the knees out wide, and then shift the hips back, lower the heart, and melt into your wide-legged child's pose. Now your child's pose is a place of relaxation, so feel free to simply melt into your space. We take the time here to check in with ourselves. We give the body a scan and notice where we do and do not feel tension. We notice if we feel pain. And then we gently start to roll up and come back to your tabletop. We're going to walk the knees out wide again for a wide variation. Tuck the toes. And inhale, we lift those knees, coming into a wide bear. We're going to exhale, walk those hands back to the feet. Flattening out through the heels, we're going to lower that tailbone. Lift the hands, bring them to heart center. We open up into our malasana, our yogi squat. If you need to lift the tailbone and lift up, paralleling the quads with the ground, that is an option. Or you can lower the hips for the full variation. Now option to hold in stillness, or option to rock side to side. Bring some extra somatic movement. Little stimming here to those hips. And when you're ready, we come back to stillness. we all inhale, and exhale, we lower the hips, lower the tailbone, and extend the legs. We come into the seated position. We're going to walk those legs out wide for a straddle. And we're going to inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, hinge at the hips and fold forward. We feel that stretch in those hips. Releasing anything that we are still holding on to down there. Now we're going to gently start to roll up. And we're going to come into fire log next. I'll turn around to help. Now we're going to stack the left leg on top of the right, much like crisscross applesauce, but one leg on top of the other. Now we're going to inhale the arms out nice and wide. And exhale, right arm will cross over the left for a nice big hug. Open up through the heart. We inhale, lift the elbows. And exhale into little rocks. Twisting side to side. Bringing some somatic movement into the heart. And then we're going to inhale stillness. Exhale, hinge at the hips, and fold forward. Now we're going to gently start to release that hug and lift back up. Bring the legs back out to a straddle. And we inhale, sweeping the arms back up. Exhale, fold forward again. We come back down between the hips. Releasing whatever we are holding on to down there that does not serve us. We gently lift back up so we can get into that other side. Now we're going to bend the knees and the right leg stacks over the left this time. Inhale the arms out. Exhale, left arm will cross the right. Big hug. Inhale, lift the elbows, and exhale, twist. Side to side. Left to right, bringing balance to the heart. We inhale stillness once again and exhale. Hinge at the hips, fold forward. We release the arms, gently start to roll up. And we bring the soles of the feet back together. We're going to come back to butterfly, back to Baddha Konasana. Inhale and exhale, just hinge and fold. We're going to melt back down between the hips. Seeing if we can notice differences and similarities from this butterfly fold versus our first at the beginning of our practice. option to flutter the knees or option to sway the body, or maybe a combination of all three options. It is up to you. Once again, we want to choose the variation that is the best for us, listening to our bodies. Now we're going to keep that butterfly shape. We're going to keep the legs in Baddha Konasana, and we're going to inhale, sweeping up. And then exhale, we're going to slowly lower down to the mat. One vertebrae at a time, coming all the way down into our supine Baddha Konasana, meaning our Baddha Konasana on our backs. We let the knees fall to the ground of their own accord. Once again, giving gravity and body weight the opportunity to work for us instead of against us. Now we're going to lift the knees and flatten the feet to the mat. And just like with those cat-cows, those tail wags, as we breathe, we're going to windshield wiper the legs left and right, right and left. We're going to bring a little more somatic movement to our practice. We try to keep both shoulder blades planted, twisting through the lower body. Now we have one more to each side. And the next time those knees are to the left, we'll go ahead and stay there. Feeling that nice stretch. Inhale, lift the knees. Exhale, float them right. Now we're going to inhale and lift the knees back up. And exhale, we're going to push the hips down into the mat. Inhale and release the hips. Exhale, press them down. Moving with the breath. These are tiny, small movements. Just pushing that tailbone, pushing the low back, the hips down for a pelvic tilt. And then releasing. Small movements, big impact. One more round. We meet back in stillness, and then we inhale the legs all the way up to the sky. We come into our legs up the wall pose. We continue pressing the hips into the ground. We bring a 90-degree bend to the hips. We show love to the low back and our circulation. And as we exhale, we bring the arms straight up overhead. Wrists align with shoulders, reaching for the sky. Lifting to our sleeping tiger. Inhale. And exhale, shake the arms, shake the legs, shake it all out, straight overhead. Get rid of that tension. Get rid of trauma. Get rid of whatever you're holding on to that does not serve you. And then when you're ready, we inhale, coming back to center, back to traditional sleeping tiger. And exhale, we hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself a good hug. Thank your body for everything it is capable of. Option to rock side to side or backwards and forwards if you would like to bring some more somatic movement to your practice, which will also result in a nice little back massage. And if you are rocking or rolling, if you brought any kind of a movement to your ball, we're going to meet back in stillness. We're all going to inhale and exhale. We extend the arms, extend the legs, take a nice big stretch like you just woke up from a good night's sleep, and come into Savasana your way. You can lay in traditional Savasana, feet open, arms to the sides. You can go back to your butterfly or rebend the knees. You can extend the arms out or up, maybe cover the eyes or make a pillow close into the chest or belly. Or if you're more comfortable on your side or stomach, feel free to roll over. Either way, sink into your space. Relax. Get comfortable. And enjoy the stillness. The next few minutes belong to you. I'll bring you back shortly. gently start to bring awareness back to the body. Wiggle the fingers and toes if you wish. Maybe wiggle the ankles, point or flex the feet. And when you're ready, come up to the seated position your way. You can roll right up. You can press up from your side from the fetal position. You can keep the eyes closed, or you can choose to open them. It is entirely up to you. We're going to inhale the arms back up one more time. And exhale, we bring hands to heart center. I'd like to thank you for sharing your time, your space, and your practice with me today. Namaste.